want to warmly welcome you to PTA Bank. We very much appreciate your coming to grace this auspicious occasion where we are witnessing the official opening of the PTA Bank office in Mauritius. Our program for the afternoon is fairly brief. We'll start by opening remarks by Mr. Tedesi, President of the PTA Bank. Thereafter, the Honorable Vice Prime Minister is going to speak. After that, we're going to have the opening of a plaque near to the reception, and thereafter we'll have the ribbon cutting, and then we'll have some refreshments. As we have refreshments, ladies and gentlemen will be welcome to view the offices of the bank. So for now, I have the pleasure to invite Mr. Admas Tedesi, President and Chief Executive of PTA Bank.
Master of Ceremonies, Francis, and now one of our newest Mauritians here in Port Louis. Once upon a time a Nairobian, no longer such. Very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you very much for taking very precious time out of your schedules to be with us here today to mark this very special occasion. You will all recall just 2 months ago on the 30th of July, I was here with the team and we signed a host agreement with the Honorable Vice Prime Minister, the Honorable Duval, who's also a governor of the bank, and we indicated at that occasion that we would very soon be operationalizing the new host agreement by opening up a new regional office. And as you can see now, you're standing in it. This is our new home here in Mauritius. It's a beautiful home, and I would be dishonest if I didn't tell you that I've also asked for my own personal office to be set here, so I can also enjoy this beautiful island city alongside everybody else. This is a more than just an opening up of an office. This is rolling out the implementation of a 5-year plan for PTA Bank. Our 5-year plan involves a number of very interesting aspects to it. One is the establishment of a new funds management business. And already you can imagine what I'm going to say. Once people talk funds management, immediately people start thinking financial center. So of course our arrival here in Mauritius also coincides with the rolling out of a new business for the bank, a business that will involve us hosting and co-managing a COMESA infrastructure fund, a fund that's been mooted now for some years. It's finally gathering storm. It's a $1 billion fund that's going to invest in infrastructure throughout the region, and a very exciting time for the bank to be able to provide more than just debt capital to the projects that it supports, but to also be able to provide some risk capital, put skin in the game, and help boost confidence of foreign direct investors in the infrastructure projects in the region. We've, of course, been active here in Mauritius for many years. In case you think our arrival marks the beginning of our operations in Mauritius, you're wrong. We have the great pleasure of having had very good engagements here. We've approved close to $72 million of projects in recent years. And on the trade financing front, it's been much bigger than that. I won't steal the thunder from the Honorable Vice Prime Minister's remarks. He's proud of the numbers that we've generated here. You yourselves might be surprised to hear we've done so much trade financing between Mauritius and Africa already. These were some of the seeds that were at the back of the Vice Prime Minister's head when he started to push this vision of Mauritius as being a very important part of the new Africa Rising narrative, positioning Mauritius as one of the very strong gateways into the continent. So I won't steal too much of those numbers, but those are numbers that give a lot of confidence to financial institutions here in Mauritius who have excess capital, who are looking for opportunities to invest in the region. Again, on that front, we've had some very, very good experiences to date already with Mauritius Commercial Bank, with the State Bank of Mauritius, and of course now we've extended the cooperation to pension funds here. Some very exciting developments on that particular front. Again, I won't steal the thunder from one of your other senior leaders here who will be making an announcement in the near future as to what some of the new partnerships between us and your pension funds here is going to be moving us toward. Very exciting indeed. So there has been already a lot of cooperation. This is really a symbolic stage for us to actually now have people here who can keep the interaction going on an ongoing basis, and of course to build a whole new range of partnerships that we've not done in the past. The Indian Ocean space, of course, is a sub-region of the wider COMESA space, the eastern seaboard of Africa. There are several island economies. Mauritius has got a very privileged position in them, but we have Comoros, we have the Seychelles, and now we have Madagascar in the near future that will be joining the bank once we've concluded our outreach. So this office will not just be serving Mauritius, clearly. It will not just be acting as a platform for our new funds management business. It will also be acting as a sub-regional hub for us to do more targeted outreach to the Indian Ocean countries. So there is a lot in store for this office in the months and years to come. We're very excited about it. The reception we've received just in the past few months have been just really outstanding. We've been made to feel extremely welcome. My colleagues now are beginning to fight amongst themselves to be stationed here, and I've joined the fray and I've started my own office here, so it's been a great beginning, really. And the Honorable Vice Prime Minister, you've been a very important part of the confidence that we've had to come here. You've encouraged us, you've supported us. Now I think this is where the rubber hits the road. We're going to start acting on all these exciting things we've been talking about. So a warm gratitude to you and your government as a whole. We feel that Mauritius has really helped us raise the bar for reaching out to this part of Africa. So with no further ado, could you kindly come and say a few remarks?
Sorry about that. Masud Adese, excuse me. The Secretary General of the Indian Ocean Commission, the Director General of the FSC, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Let me welcome you all here this afternoon for a very important event, the opening of the Regional Office of the Eastern and Southern Africa Trade and Development Bank, more usually known as the PTA Bank. It's a very important institution. Its head office is in Burundi, and it's got two regional offices so far. This is the third one. It's got one in Kenya, one in Zimbabwe, and now we are extremely pleased that thanks to you, you've agreed and pushed forward this agenda. Thank you very much. Now, the main activities of the bank are trade finance and project finance, and now we know also we're going to look into fund management. And it's a very important bank. The total balance sheet assets of the bank are $2 billion US, and under the new president, it's had known great growth, 35% growth since you've taken over, and this is wonderful. I think it's also a very profitable bank with over 100 employees. Now, it was tough to get the bank here. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your support in coming here. It was tough competition, so Maurice had to defend its case, and we won. Although, in fact, we only have 2% of the share capital of the bank. The bank has been tremendously helpful in developing the economy here in Mauritius, and up to now, over the last few years, the bank has financed $1.6 billion US of trade financing, presumably to Africa, for Mauritian businesses, and invested $72 million in projects here. Now, it's as part of our Africa strategy. It's very important for Mauritius to continue to attract regional organizations. In fact, we're very pleased that at the end of last year, in fact, Mrs. Lagarde herself, Ms. Christine Lagarde herself of the IMF came to open the Africa Training Institute, which is up and running and working very well. We've had for some time now the Africa Technical Assistance office here called Africa South. We have the Regional Multidisciplinary Center of Excellence been set up and working reasonably well for some time. We have the Africa Development Bank. We have Africa Re in reinsurance, AfriNIC in IT, and we've had the COMESA Infrastructure Fund for some time. It's been fairly dormant, And now that Commerce have agreed to obtain funding of $1 billion for the Commerce Infrastructure Fund, this is going to be managed by the PTA Bank. We really look forward to this fund contributing positively to development in Africa. You have the IOC, IOR also, and the World Bank Regional Office. All this fits into our strategy of welcoming in Mauritius and partnering with regional and international organizations so that they have their regional offices here in Mauritius. I'm happy that it's working, and we're looking at ways to develop this even further. The bank is going to have 10 people working here. I hope that you have space for some Mauritian employment here. That would be great to encourage our young people in financial services to work in Mauritius. I think this is therefore an important new addition to the regional aspirations, the aspirations of Mauritius to become a very dynamic regional financial services center. And I think we are on the way to doing that, and you participated with us today in the International Advisory Board, and thank you very much for very helpful comments. And I think that we're all looking forward to Mauritius growing more and more into a regional financial services center. And again, I'd like to thank you for all your support, Mr. President, for this office to open today. Thank you.